Visual, pre-dawn hospital. Fluorescent hum. Shadows in empty hallways. The smell hits first. Antiseptic layered over something older. Metal. Blood that's been scrubbed but never truly gone. 5:47 a.m. Mercy General Hospital. 3rd floor. Surgical wing. Dr. Maya Reeves moves through the hallway like a ghost. Not because she wants to, because that's what they've made her. She's 32. 5 years out of a trauma fellowship. 3 years at Mercy General, and still assigned to pre-op equipment checks. It builds character, they said. Everyone pays their dues, they said. What they meant, we don't trust you with anything that matters. Visual, Maya at supply closet. Surgical resident scrubs. Name tag slightly crooked. Hands moving with unconscious precision. Counting, organizing, checking expiration dates with a rhythm that's too efficient for someone just doing inventory. Her fingers trace each item. Sutures, clamps, scalpel handles. She doesn't need to look. Muscle memory, the kind you only get from repetition under pressure. Dr. Harrison Chen passes without looking up. Chief surgical resident, tablet in hand. Confidence like armor. Reeves, make sure OR3 has extra suction canisters. Last case ran long. No please. No eye contact, just orders. Already done. 6 units, positioned left side for the attending's preference. He pauses. Almost annoyed she answered correctly. Fine. He walks away. Doesn't say thank you. Never does. She could have told him about the faulty pressure gauge on the backup ventilator in OR2. Could have mentioned the Type O supply running low in the blood bank. Could have said a lot of things. But they don't listen to her. They never have. Visual. Maya enters break room. 2 surgical nurses. Linda, 50s, veteran of 15 years, and Derek, 30s, ambitious and sharp-tongued. Mid-conversation. They don't stop when she enters. I'm just saying, if they're going to assign complex cases, maybe give them to residents who can handle the pressure. Reeves? She freezes every time an attending asks her opinion. Nice enough, but... He trails off. Sees Maya pouring coffee. Doesn't apologize. It's a shame. We need more women in surgery, but you can't force readiness. Maya's hand doesn't shake. Cream, 1 sugar. She stirs exactly 3 times, throws the stirrer away with her left hand, while her right sets the cup down. Economy of motion, muscle memory. They think it's shyness. They're wrong. She takes a sip, doesn't taste it, just fuel. Hydration. Another checkbox on a list she doesn't speak about. Derek glances at her, then away. Guilt flickers across his face for half a second. Then it's gone. Linda continues, oblivious or indifferent. Parrish has that lobectomy this morning. Complex case. I heard he requested Harrison as second chair. Of course he did. Harrison's solid. Doesn't hesitate. Maya sets her cup down. Walks to her locker. Opens it. Visual. Inside, standard items. Stethoscope, pens, a protein bar. But tucked in a corner, barely visible, a small photograph. 4 people in desert fatigues. Faces sunburned. Smiles exhausted, but real. Maya's younger, thinner, eyes harder. She doesn't look at it. Closes the locker. Some weights you carry in silence. Some doors you close and never speak about. Not because you're ashamed, because no one here would understand. The overhead PA crackles. Surgical teams, morning briefing in Conference B. 10 minutes. Maya exhales. Another day. Another round of being invisible. But Maya Reeves learned a long time ago. Invisible doesn't mean harmless. Visual. Conference room. Surgical team assembled. Dr. Victoria Cross, 50s, chief of surgery, sharp-eyed and exhausted, at the head of the table. Harrison presenting case files on a tablet. 2 scheduled procedures. Gallbladder lap in OR1. Routine. Then we have the thoracic in OR3. Left upper lobectomy. Patient's a lifelong smoker. Compromised pulmonary function. Victoria leans forward. Fingers steepled. Who's scrubbing in second chair? Dr. Patel requested it last week. Patel's off. His kid's sick. I need someone ready for complex observation. Someone dependable. A pause. Eyes flicker around the room. Linda speaks up. Dr. Kim's available. Kim's on the lap, Cole. I need someone else. Silence. Then, reluctantly, Harrison clears his throat. Reeves is technically cleared for OR observation. Victoria glances at Maya like she's furniture. Functional, unremarkable. She have any thoracic experience? Officially? No. Then she watches and stays out of the way. Understood? She's not asking Maya. She's telling the room. Maya meets her gaze, calm, steady. Understood. That word. So simple. So civilian. But to Maya it echoes differently. Understood, ma'am. Target acquired. Rules of engagement clear. She blinks the memory away. This isn't Kandahar. This is Kansas. The meeting ends. People file out. Maya stays seated for a moment, lets the room empty. Then she stands, walks toward the OR prep area. Visual. Scrub station. Maya alone. Water running. She scrubs methodically. Each finger. Between knuckles. Forearms. The same pattern every time. 30 seconds per hand. Nails clean. No jewelry. No distractions. It's the same way she used to prep before field operations. Except then, the gloves were tactical. The blood wasn't always someone she was trying to save. Her hands pause under the water. A flicker. Desert sun. Dust in the air. The rhythmic thump-thump-thump of helicopter blades overhead. She blinks. The memory fades. Water still running. Derek passes by. You good? Yeah, just thinking. Lying has become reflex. Because the truth, I used to do this in a combat zone under mortar fire, isn't something you say out loud in a hospital in Missouri. She dries her hands. Enters OR3. Visual. Patient prepped. Dr. Stephen Parrish, 60s, thoracic attending, old school and brilliant but arrogant, reviewing scans on a monitor. Harrison assisting. Maya positioned in the corner, observing. Parrish doesn't acknowledge her, doesn't need to. She's just another body in the room. All right. Left upper lobectomy. Patient's a smoker. Compromised pulmonary function, but operable. Let's keep this clean and fast. Harrison nods. Incision? Standard posterolateral. I want full visual access. Maya watches, doesn't speak, but her eyes track everything. The angle of the scalpel, the retraction, the way Parrish's hand shifts when he's uncertain. She's not just watching, she's reading. Body language, micro-hesitations. The way a surgeon compensates when something doesn't feel right. It's the same way she used to read a convoy route for IEDs. You look for what doesn't fit, and today, something doesn't fit. Visual, OR3. 30 minutes into the procedure, Parrish retracting lung tissue. Harrison holding retractors steady. Maya in the corner, silent, observing. The monitors beep rhythmically. Oxygen saturation, holding at 94%. Blood pressure stable. Everything appears routine. But Maya sees it. The slight tremor in Parrish's dominant hand. The way his shoulders tense when he encounters resistance. The overcorrection when he adjusts his angle. He's tired, or rattled, or both. Her eyes flick to the monitor. Vitals still stable, for now. But her instinct, the same instinct that kept her alive through 15 months in a war zone, is screaming. Something's wrong. Parrish dissects deeper, careful, methodical. His scalpel moves along the tissue plane. Then, a flash of red, barely visible. Maya's posture shifts, imperceptible to most, but her weight moves forward. Her hands, resting at her sides, flex once. She's seen this before. Different context, same outcome. Outcome is ignored. Doctor, her voice is quiet, but it cuts through the room like a blade. Parrish doesn't look up. Irritation flickers across his face. I said observe, Dr. Reeves. You're close to the PA branch, left side, 2 millimeters. Silence. The monitors continue their steady rhythm. Parrish pauses, still not looking at her. I'm aware of the anatomy, doctor. I know, but the adhesion's pulling the vessel anterior. It's not where the imaging says it should be. Harrison glances at Maya, his eyes wide, a silent plea. Don't do this. Parrish's jaw tightens. He straightens slightly, finally looks at her. Dr. Reeves, if you can't remain silent, you can leave. Maya doesn't move, doesn't blink. She's been dismissed before, by sergeants, by colonels, by men who thought rank meant truth. She stayed quiet then too, right up until the moment staying quiet would have killed someone. With respect, sir, if you continue dissecting at that angle, you're going to nick the artery, and at this depth, you won't have time to clamp it. Parrish's eyes narrow, cold, controlled rage. You're out of line. I'm right. The words hang in the air, heavy, absolute. Linda, holding the instrument tray, freezes. Derek stares at Maya like she's just detonated a grenade. Harrison whispers urgently, Maya, stop. But she doesn't stop. Her eyes are locked on Parrish, steady, unshakable. The pulmonary artery is displaced. 2 millimeters anterior and medial to expected position due to tension from the pleural adhesion you just divided. Parrish's voice drops, dangerously calm. I've done 300 of these procedures. And the imaging was taken with the patient supine and fully inflated. Right now he's lateral and single lung ventilated. The anatomy has shifted. Harrison steps closer, his voice urgent, pleading. Maya, you need to. If you dissect further without repositioning, you'll enter the arterial sheath. Blood pressure's 110/70. He's a smoker with poor vascular integrity. If that vessel tears, you'll lose pressure faster than you can clamp. And we're 40 minutes in. He won't tolerate a conversion to open. Every word precise, every detail correct. Not a guess, a certainty. The kind you only get from experience. Real, brutal, unforgettable experience. Parrish stares at her. For a long moment, he says nothing. Then he turns back to the patient, hands covering. For just a moment, just one moment, doubt flickers across his face. Retract superior, slowly. Harrison obeys. Parrish adjusts his angle, peers deeper into the surgical field, and stops. Visual. Close up. A thin red line, the arterial wall, exactly where Maya said it would be. Less than a millimeter from where his scalpel was positioned. One more cut, 1 more millimeter, and this patient would have bled out on the table. Parrish's voice is barely audible. Clamp, now. Linda hands it over. Her hands shake slightly. Parrish repositions, clamps the vessel. The monitors beep steadily. No alarms, no catastrophe. Adjust the retraction angle. We're going around. He continues, slower now, more deliberate. The rest of the procedure takes 25 minutes. Clean, controlled, no complications. Visual. Final suture. Parrish steps back, lets out a breath he didn't know he was holding. Close him up. Standard post-op protocol. He strips off his gloves, walks toward the OR doors, stops, doesn't turn around. Good catch, Dr. Reeves. Then he's gone. Not an apology, not an explanation. But in a room like this, from a man like that, it's as close as you get. Maya remains still, hands at her sides, face neutral. But inside, she's back in a field tent in Helmand Province. Arterial bleed from shrapnel, no vascular surgeon, no backup. Just her, a clamp, and a 22-year-old kid from Georgia who kept asking if he'd ever play guitar. Again. She saved him. Didn't lose a single patient that rotation. And when she came home, they thanked her for her service and told her she wasn't ready for complex cases. Harrison approaches cautiously, his voice shaken. How did you? Maya turns toward the door. Quiet. Already leaving. I saw it. No one else saw it. I was right there. I didn't see it. She pauses at the door, doesn't look back. You weren't looking for it. She leaves. Behind her, the OR team exchanges glances, confusion, suspicion, and for the first time, respect. Visual. Hallway outside OR 3. Maya walking, slow, controlled, but her hands are trembling now, just slightly. She ducks into an empty supply closet, closes the door, leans against it. Her breath comes faster. Not panic, not fear. Memory. The sound of rotors, the smell of diesel and sand, the weight of a trauma kit on her back. A voice, distant but clear, calling her rank. Captain, Captain Reeves. She closes her eyes, breathes, counts backward from 10. An old technique, one she learned in debriefings after particularly bad days. By the time she reaches 1, her hands are steady again. She opens the door, steps back into the hallway, and nearly collides with Linda. The nurse is holding a tablet, staring at Maya with an expression that's equal parts awe and confusion. Dr. Reeves, I just wanted to say that was incredible. What you did in there. Maya nods once, polite. Distant, just doing my job. No, that wasn't just a job, that was... I've been a surgical nurse for 15 years. I've never seen anyone call out an attending like that and be right. Maya doesn't respond, doesn't know how to. Linda's eyes narrow, not suspicious, curious. Where did you train? I mean, before here. County General, standard residency. That's not what I meant. Maya meets her gaze, calm, unreadable. I don't know what you're asking. Linda studies her for a moment longer, then nods slowly. Okay, but thank you for speaking up. That patient's alive because of you. She walks away. Maya stands alone in the hallway. The fluorescent lights hum overhead. She saved a life today. Again. But all she feels is tired. Visual. Hospital cafeteria. 2 hours later. Lunch rush. Trays clattering. Conversations overlapping. Maya sitting alone at a corner table. Salad untouched. Staring at nothing. She doesn't taste food anymore. Hasn't in years. Eating is just refueling. A checklist item. Hydrate. Eat. Sleep when you can. Old habits die hard. Her phone buzzes. A text from Harrison. Parrish wants to see you. His office. 3 p.m. She doesn't reply, just sets the phone down. Visual. Tray slams down across from her. She doesn't flinch, but her hand moves half an inch toward her side. Instinct. Muscle memory. A man. Late 30s. Buzz cut going gray at the temples. Weathered face. Cargo jacket despite the indoor warmth. Hospital visitor badge clipped to his collar. He's staring at her like he's seen a ghost. No way. Maya's eyes snap up. Her expression shifts. Guarded. Carefully neutral. I think you have the wrong person. The man sits down anyway. His grin widens, disbelieving, almost laughing. Reeves. Captain Maya Reeves. 274th Forward Surgical Team. The noise of the cafeteria doesn't stop. The world doesn't fade. But for Maya, everything just went silent. I don't know what you're talking about. He leans forward, eyes bright, genuine. Come on, Kandahar, 2017. You put a chest tube in me in the back of a Humvee doing 60 over Broken Road while we were taking small arms fire. He pulls his shirt collar aside. A scar, thick, old, runs from collarbone to sternum. Collapsed lung, sucking chest wound. You told me if I passed out, you'd wake me up by slapping me, and you did. Maya's jaw tightens. Her voice drops. That was a long time ago. 6 years. But I don't forget phrases. Especially not ones who kept me breathing long enough to make it home. He extends a hand across the table. Sergeant Ethan Cross, 10th Mountain Division. You saved my life, ma'am. That word? Ma'am. It hits like a flashbang. Maya doesn't take his hand. Her eyes dart to the tables around them. People are starting to notice, starting to listen. Ethan, I'm asking you, please, don't. He pulls his hand back, confused. Don't what? I'm not that person anymore. I'm just a resident here, that's all. Ethan studies her, realization dawning slowly. You didn't tell them. There was nothing to tell. You were a trauma surgeon in a combat zone. You ran a forward surgical team under fire for 15 months. You had a Bronze Star nomination. Her voice sharpens, urgent, almost pleading. Ethan, but it's too late. The words are out, and at the table directly behind them, Linda has gone very, very still. Her fork frozen halfway to her mouth. She turns slowly. Captain? Maya closes her eyes, exhales through her nose. Damn it. Ethan looks around, finally realizing the attention they've drawn. Wait, they don't know? No one knows, and I'd like to keep it that way. Why the hell not? Maya stands abruptly. Her chair scrapes loudly against the floor. Because I didn't come here to be a war story. I came here to be a doctor. She walks away. Fast, purposeful. But the damage is done. Visual. Linda's face. Shock. Then she pulls out her phone. Fingers flying across the screen. Information moves fast in a hospital. Faster than blood. Faster than infection. And once it starts spreading, there's no stopping it. Visual. Emergency department. 4 hours later. Controlled chaos. Nurses moving quickly. Doctors reviewing charts. Overhead PA system crackling intermittently. Maya at a computer terminal, reviewing post-op notes. Trying to ignore the glances, the whispers. Word has spread. The quiet resident who never spoke up, who took orders without question. She's something else, something no one expected. Harrison approaches, hesitant. Hey, you okay? Fine. People are talking. I noticed. Is it true? Were you really? The PA system screeches. Loud, urgent. Trauma alert. Mass casualty incident. Highway 70, multi-vehicle pileup. ETA 6 minutes. All available surgical staff to ED. Repeat, all available staff to ED immediately. The room shifts. Instantly. Organized chaos becoming barely controlled panic. Victoria Cross strides in, tablet in hand. Barking orders. I need a head count. Who's available for OR? Parrish is in a consult. Get him out, now. Kim's finishing a lap call. How long? 20 minutes. We don't have 20 minutes. The ED bay doors burst open. Ambulances screaming in. Paramedics shouting, gurneys crashing through. Male, late 20s, crush injuries to the chest, BP's dropping fast. Victoria points. OR2, move. Another gurney, another paramedic. Female, 35, penetrating abdominal trauma, possible liver lack. OR1, go. A third gurney rolls in, a paramedic running alongside, face pale, voice panicked. We've got a kid, 10 years old, steering column crushed his chest, pupils reactive, but he's desatting fast. Victoria looks at the board, her face goes white. We're out of ORs. Harrison stares at her. What? We've got 2 surgeries running and 2 more incoming critical. We don't have room. So what do we do? For the first time in 15 years, Dr. Victoria Cross doesn't have an answer. And that's when Maya Reeves steps forward. Her voice cuts through the noise. Calm, clear, absolute. I'll take him. Victoria spins. Reeves, you're not? I'm cleared for trauma. I can stabilize him. You've never run a trauma case here. Maya meets her eyes, steady as steel. I've run worse. Worse. There's something in her voice, something that wasn't there before. Not a request, not a suggestion, a statement. Victoria hesitates, then nods once. OR3. You stabilize him and you wait for me. Understood? Understood. Maya moves, not hurried, not panicked, purposeful. She takes the gurney from the paramedic, starts moving, starts giving orders. I need a chest x-ray, portable, in the OR. Type and cross for 4 units. Get anesthesia up there now. Move. Linda and Derek exchange looks, then follow. Something has shifted. It's in the way she walks, the way she speaks, like a switch flipped. The quiet resident is gone, and someone else has taken her place. Visual. OR3. Organized chaos. Maya scrubbing in, the boy on the table. Daniel, 10 years old, unconscious, oxygen mask fogging weakly, vitals unstable. Maya finishes scrubbing. Gloves on. She approaches the table. Her eyes scan him, fast, methodical, chest wall bruising. Asymmetric rise and fall. Tracheal deviation to the right. She knows what this is. Tension pneumothorax, left side. The anesthesiologist, older, experienced, but hesitant, looks up. Shouldn't we wait for Dr. Cross? Maya's eyes don't leave the patient. If we wait, he dies. Intubate him. Her voice isn't loud, but it's absolute. The anesthesiologist obeys. Maya picks up the scalpel. I'm going in. She doesn't wait for permission. Incision. Fast, clean, precise. Rib spreader. Derek hands it over. She places it, opens the chest. Linda's eyes go wide. Jesus. The boy's lung is collapsed. Blood pooling in the pleural cavity. It should take 15 minutes to stabilize. Maya does it in 4. Suction. Clamp that bleeder. There. Chest tube. 28 French. Her hands move like they're choreographed. No hesitation. No wasted motion. Derek watches, stunned. Where the hell did you learn to move like that? Maya doesn't answer, because the truth is, you don't learn this in a residency. You learn it when there's no backup, no attending, no time. When it's you, a tent, and a dying 18-year-old screaming for his mother. You learn it in war. Suddenly the OR doors burst open. Not medical staff. 2 men in dress uniforms. Army. One of them a colonel. Tall, gray-haired, chest full of ribbons. Everyone freezes. Victoria arrives behind them, furious. Who the hell are you? The colonel ignores her. His eyes lock on Maya. Captain Reeves. Maya's hands stop, just for a second. Then she keeps working. I'm in the middle of a procedure, Colonel. I can see that. Victoria steps forward, voice tight with controlled fury. I don't know who you think you are, but you cannot just walk into an active OR. The colonel finally looks at her, calm, unwavering. Colonel William Shaw, United States Army Medical Corps. And yes, ma'am, I can. He holds up a tablet, official seal visible on the screen. Captain Reeves is being recalled to active duty. There's a NATO training exercise in Germany. They've requested her specifically. She has 72 hours to report. Harrison's voice cracks slightly. Captain? The room goes silent, except for the monitors. The steady beep of Daniel's heartbeat. The hiss of the ventilator. Maya doesn't stop working. Her hands move with mechanical precision, placing the final suture on the chest tube. With respect, Colonel. I'm currently repairing a 10-year-old's lung. You'll have to wait. Shaw's expression softens, just slightly, a hint of a smile. I wouldn't expect anything less. He steps back, crosses his arms. and waits. Linda stares at Maya, then at the colonel, then back at Maya. I don't understand. Your army? Maya doesn't answer. Her focus remains on Daniel, checking the tube placement, verifying the seal. Suction output? Derek stammers, still processing. 200 milliliters. Mostly blood. Expected. His pressures? Stabilizing. 95/60. Maya nods once, steps back, strips off her gloves. He'll need ICU monitoring. Watch for re-expansion pulmonary edema. If his SATs drop below 92, page me immediately. Linda just nods, speechless. Maya turns, faces Shaw. The rest of the room watches in stunned silence. Can we do this somewhere else, Colonel? I'd prefer to keep this official, Captain. A flicker of frustration crosses her face. I'm not a captain anymore. I resigned my commission 3 years ago. Inactive reserve, Captain. That means you can be recalled. I know what it means. Her voice is flat, controlled. But there's an edge underneath, something barely contained. Victoria finds her voice again, stepping closer. Someone want to explain what the hell is going on? Shaw turns to her. Professional, matter of fact. Dr. Reeves, Captain Reeves. Served 15 months with the 274th Forward Surgical Team in Afghanistan. She ran a trauma unit 30 miles from active combat, treated over 400 casualties, maintained a 96% survival rate under hostile conditions. The words land like stones. Harrison is staring at Maya like he's never seen her before. You were in Afghanistan? Maya's jaw tightens. She doesn't meet his eyes. I was a lot of things, Shaw continues, his tone carrying the weight of official record. She was nominated for the Bronze Star for actions under fire, declined it, resigned her commission 6 months after returning stateside and disappeared into civilian medicine. Victoria's voice is quieter now, almost disbelieving. That's why you're so… She trails off, searching for words. Maya finishes the sentence for her. Quiet? Invisible? Yeah. There's weight in her voice, the kind that could crush steel. I didn't come here to be a war hero. I came here because I wanted to save lives without wondering if the person I was operating on had just killed my friends. She looks directly at Victoria now. I wanted normal. I wanted boring. I wanted to be just a resident. Victoria's expression shifts, confusion mixing with something else. Regret, maybe. Then why didn't you tell us? Maya's laugh is bitter, sharp. Because the last time I told a hospital about my background, they put me in front of a board and asked if I had PTSD, asked if I was emotionally stable, asked if I could handle the stress of civilian surgery. Her voice doesn't shake, but the pain is there, raw, real. So I stopped telling people. I just kept my head down, did the work, stayed out of the way. Harrison speaks quietly, almost ashamed. We treated you like you didn't know anything. Maya meets his gaze. You treated me like I didn't matter. The words land like bullets, clean, precise, devastating. Derek's voice shakes. I'm sorry, I didn't know. You didn't ask. None of you did. She looks around the room, at the faces staring back. Linda, Derek, Harrison, Victoria, the anesthesiologist, the scrub tech in the corner. I don't blame you. I hid it. That was my choice. She turns back to Shaw. But I'm not going back, Colonel. I served my time. I did my duty. I'm done. Shaw's expression remains neutral, professional. The Army needs experienced trauma surgeons. The Army has plenty of surgeons. What it doesn't have is people who survived it once and were smart enough not to go back. Shaw's voice softens, just slightly. Maya, you were the best we had. Maya's eyes harden. I was the best because I had to be, because if I wasn't, people died. And I carried every single one of them home with me. She pauses. Her hands are clenched at her sides now. I'm not carrying any more. Silence. Heavy. Absolute. Shaw studies her for a long moment. Then nods slowly. Understood. He reaches into his jacket, pulls out a folded paper, extends. Tends it toward her. For what it's worth, Captain, you earned this. Maya takes it, unfolds it slowly. It's the Bronze Star Commendation. Signed, sealed, official. Her voice is barely a whisper. I didn't want this. I know, but you earned it anyway. Shaw straightens, then salutes. Sharp, clean, respectful. It's been an honor, Captain. Maya doesn't salute back, can't. She's not that person anymore. But she nods, once. Dismissed, Colonel. Shaw's smile is faint, approving. Then he turns and leaves. The second officer follows. The OR doors swing shut behind them. The room is still. Maya standing alone in the center, the commendation paper crumpling slightly in her grip. Victoria steps forward, her voice softer than it's ever been. Maya. Maya doesn't look at her. I have post-op notes to file. Maya, wait. Maya stops, doesn't turn around. You saved that boy's life, and this morning, you saved my patient's life. I was just doing my job. No. You were doing mine. Maya finally turns. Victoria meets her eyes, genuine, unguarded. I'm sorry for underestimating you, for not seeing what you were capable of. Maya's voice is quiet. You saw a resident who didn't speak up. That's what I wanted you to see. Why? Because if you knew the truth, you'd expect me to be her again, the captain, the soldier. She swallows hard. And I can't be her anymore. She's gone. But even as she says it, she knows it's not entirely true. Because the soldier never really leaves, she just learns to hide. Victoria nods slowly, understanding something she didn't before. Take the rest of the day. We'll talk tomorrow. Maya doesn't argue, just walks to the door, pauses. The boy, Daniel, he's going to be okay. Then she's gone. The OR team stands in silence, processing what just happened, who Maya Reeves really is, and who she's been hiding from them all along. Visual, hospital, 3 days later, early morning. The building looks the same, but everything inside has changed. News travels fast in a hospital. By the end of that first day, everyone knew. The quiet resident who took orders and stayed invisible wasn't just a doctor. She was a decorated combat surgeon who'd saved lives under fire. And suddenly, invisible wasn't an option anymore. Maya walks through the main corridor. People step aside, not out of fear, out of respect. Derek passes her, stops, turns back. Dr. Reeves, Maya. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. For what I said in the break room, I was completely out of line. Maya pauses, surprised by the directness. Derek. No, I mean it. You're one of the best surgeons I've ever seen work. And I should have recognized that before I knew your history. He means it. She can see it in his face. Thank you. He nods, then walks away. She's not used to this, the acknowledgement, the respect. It feels wrong, like wearing someone else's clothes. Visual, surgical floor. Linda approaches, holding 2 cups of coffee, extends one toward Maya. 2 creams, 1 sugar, right? Maya takes it, cautious. Yeah, thanks. Linda doesn't leave, just stands there, studying Maya with an expression that's hard to read. I've been a nurse for 30 years, seen a lot of doctors come through here, good ones, bad ones, arrogant ones. She pauses. I've never seen anyone move the way you did in that OR with Daniel. Maya doesn't know what to say. Linda continues. I'm sorry I doubted you. I should have trusted what I saw, not what I assumed. You didn't know. I should have known better. There's weight in her words, real regret. Maya nods once, acceptance without absolution. Linda walks away. Maya stands alone in the hallway, holding the coffee, feeling the warmth through the cup. Small gestures, but they mean something. Visual, conference room staff meeting, Victoria at the head of the table. Maya sitting near the back, Harrison beside her. Victoria stands, addresses the room. Effective immediately, Dr. Reeves will be joining the advanced trauma rotation. She'll also be leading a new training initiative, high-stress decision-making for surgical residents. Murmurs around the table, approving, respectful. Harrison speaks up, no longer dismissive, genuinely engaged. We could use that, especially after this week. Victoria looks directly at Maya. Dr. Reeves has expertise we'd be foolish not to utilize. Maya shifts slightly, uncomfortable with the attention. I appreciate the opportunity, but I don't want to be treated differently because of my background. Victoria's response is firm, clear. You won't be. You'll be treated differently because you've proven you belong here. It's not pity, not hero worship. It's recognition. The thing Maya never wanted, and the thing she'd been denied for years. The meeting continues. Plans discussed, schedules adjusted. Maya listens, contributes when asked. But she's still getting used to being heard. Visual. Later. Empty OR. Maya reviewing equipment. Harrison enters, hesitant. Hey, got a minute? Maya looks up. Sure. Harrison sits on one of the stools. Awkward, genuine. I've been thinking about what you said. About how we treated you. Harrison, you don't have to. Yeah, I do. He meets her eyes. I'm good at surgery, I know I am. But I've never had to do it when everything's falling apart, when there's no backup, no safety net. He pauses. You did that every day for over a year, and you came here and let us treat you like you were nobody. Maya's voice is quiet. I wanted to be nobody. Why? She's silent for a long moment, choosing her words carefully. Because being somebody costs too much. What do you mean? Maya looks down at her hands, turns them over, studies the lines. When you're in a war zone, people look at you like you're a miracle worker, like you can save anyone. And when you can't, she stops, swallows. I lost 11 patients out of 437. 11. Harrison's voice is soft. That's an incredible survival rate. I know their names, all 11. I see their faces when I close my eyes. Her voice is steady, but her hands, resting on the counter, are clenched. I came here because I wanted to save people without carrying ghosts. But the truth is, yes, I still carry them, every day. Harrison doesn't interrupt, just listens. That's not weakness, Maya. That's being human. She looks at him, really looks. You think so? I know so. For the first time in years, Maya believes it. Visual. Hallway. End of shift. Maya at her locker, opens it. The photograph is still there. The 4 soldiers in desert fatiguage, younger Maya among them. She stares at it for a moment, then reaches in, takes it out, looks at each face, remembering. Corporal Chen, killed by an IED 3 weeks before rotation ended. Sergeant Okoye, made it home. Last Maya heard, she was teaching at a medical school in Atlanta. Lieutenant Diaz, still active duty, somewhere in Germany. And Maya, the only one who walked away completely. She traces the edge of the photo with her thumb, then carefully places it back inside. But this time, she doesn't hide it in the corner. She clips it to the inside of the locker door. Visible, a part of her history, not something to bury. She closes the locker, turns. Ethan Cross is standing there, leaning against the wall. Visitor badge still clipped to his jacket. Thought you might want some company. Maya almost smiles. You're persistent. Learned it from the best. They walk together, down the hallway, out toward the parking lot. I heard you turn down the recall. Yeah. Good. You've done enough. Maya glances at him. You think so? I know. No, so. You saved my life. And from what I've heard, you've saved a lot more since you got here. They reach the exit, stand in the fading daylight. You ever regret it? Maya asks. Coming home? Ethan considers. Every day, and never. He grins. It's complicated. Yeah, it is. They stand in silence, comfortable. 2 people who've seen the worst of the world and chose to keep living anyway. You staying in town? Maya asks. For a bit. My sister lives here, visiting her kids. Good. Ethan studies her. You doing okay? Really? Maya thinks about it, really thinks. I'm getting there. That's all anyone can ask. He taps his chest, right over the scar. Thanks again, for that night. You already thanked me, I know, but it's worth saying twice. He walks toward the parking lot. Maya watches him go, then turns back toward the hospital. Visual inside, the lobby. People moving, doctors, nurses, patients, families. Life continuing. Maya stands there for a moment, watching. She's not the same person who walked in here 3 years ago. But she's not the captain from Kandahar either. She's something in between. Someone who carries the past but isn't trapped by it. Someone who's learning to live with both versions of herself. Visual, her pager buzzes. She checks it. Trauma incoming. ETA 5 minutes. She doesn't hesitate. Turns. walks toward the ED, because this is who she is now. Not invisible, not a ghost, a surgeon, and that's enough. Visual, emergency department, late afternoon, 2 weeks after the mass casualty incident. Maya at the trauma bay, reviewing charts, steady rhythm of a typical shift. Harrison approaches, tablet in hand. Parrish wants to see you. His office. Maya looks up, guarded. Did he say why? No, but he seemed different. Maya sets down the chart, walks toward the surgical wing. The hallways are familiar now, but the weight in them has shifted. People nod as she passes, acknowledge her presence. It still feels strange. Visual. Parrish's office. Door slightly ajar. Maya knocks. Come in. She enters. Parrish is at his desk, reviewing surgical notes. He looks up, gestures to a chair. Sit. Maya sits, waits. Parrish sets down his pen, leans back. I've been a surgeon for 32 years, trained at Hopkins, published over 40 papers. I don't make mistakes in the OR. He pauses. But 2 weeks ago, I almost did. Maya says nothing, just listens. You saw something I didn't. Something I should have seen. His voice is measured, not apologetic exactly, but honest. I've been thinking about why that happened, and I realized I wasn't looking for it, because I assumed the anatomy would be where I expected it to be. He meets her eyes. You didn't assume, you observed. I was trained to observe. In Afghanistan. It's not a question. Maya nods once. Parrish leans forward slightly. Why didn't you tell anyone about your background? Maya chooses her words carefully. Because I wanted to be judged on what I did here, not on what I did there. That's foolish. Maybe. Parrish's expression softens, just slightly. You saved my patient's life, and my reputation. I was just doing my job. No, you were doing what I should have been doing, staying vigilant. He picks up a folder, slides it across the desk. I'm recommending you for chief resident next year. Victoria agrees. Maya stares at the folder. Doesn't touch it. I don't know what to say. Say yes. She looks up at him. You barely spoke to me 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I thought you were uncertain, hesitant. He pauses. I was wrong. You weren't hesitant. You were careful. There's a difference. Maya finally picks up the folder, opens it, scans the recommendation letter. It's detailed, honest, complimentary in a way that feels earned. Thank you, Parrish. H nods. Don't make me regret it. A hint of a smile crosses Maya's face. I'll try not to. Visual, hallway outside Parrish's office. Maya walking, the folder in her hand. Processing. Victoria appears from around the corner. Maya, walk with me. They move together, side by side, toward the surgical wing. Parrish told you? He did. And? Maya glances at her. I'm still thinking about it. Victoria stops, turns to face her. What's there to think about? Maya hesitates, then speaks. I came here to disappear, to be normal. If I take this position, I won't be invisible anymore. You're already not invisible. I know, but this makes it permanent. Victoria studies her, understanding something deeper. You're afraid. Maya doesn't deny it. I spent 15 months being responsible for everyone who came through my tent. Every decision I made determined whether someone lived or died. Her voice is quiet but steady. I told myself when I left that I wouldn't carry that weight again, that I'd just be another doctor, another set of hands. But you're not. No, I'm not. Victoria's voice softens. Maya, being a leader doesn't mean carrying everything alone. It means knowing when to ask for help, when to delegate, when to trust your team. I know that. Do you? Maya is silent. Victoria continues. You've been carrying your past like it's a burden, but it's not. It's proof that you survived, that you adapted, that you're exactly the kind of doctor we need, leading the next generation. She pauses. You've already proven you can save lives under impossible circumstances. Now prove you can teach others to do the same. Maya looks at her. Really looks. What if I fail? Then you fail, and you learn, and you do better next time. Victoria's expression is kind but firm. You're not in a war zone anymore, Maya. You're allowed to make mistakes here. You're allowed to be human. The words land, settle. Maya nods slowly. Okay. Okay? I'll do it. Victoria smiles, genuine, Proud. Good. Because I already submitted the paperwork. Maya almost laughs. Of course you did. Visual. Break room, evening. Maya sitting alone, coffee in hand, staring at the folder. Linda enters, sees Maya, sits down across from her. Heard the news. Congratulations. Thanks. Linda studies her. You don't look happy. I am, I think. But? Maya sets down the folder. I keep thinking about the people I couldn't save. The ones who didn't make it. Linda's voice is gentle. How many? 11, out of 437. Linda is quiet for a moment, then speaks. My daughter was in a car accident 6 years ago. Traumatic brain injury. She was in the ICU for 3 weeks. Maya listens. The surgeon who operated on her told me afterward that he'd lost 3 patients that year to similar injuries, that he still thought about them, that he probably always would. She pauses. But he also told me that remembering them made him better, made him fight harder for every patient after. Linda meets Maya's eyes. You carry those 11 because you care, because they mattered. That's not a weakness. That's what makes you a good doctor. Maya's throat tightens. I don't want to forget them. Then don't. But don't let them stop you from moving forward either. Maya nods once, then again. Thank you. Linda stands. Pats her shoulder gently. You're going to be great at this. Then she's gone. Maya sits alone, the folder in front of her, the coffee cooling in her hand. For the first time in years, she feels something she didn't expect. Hope. Visual. Hospital. Night. Maya walking through empty corridors, the building quiet, peaceful. She stops at a window, looks out over the parking lot, the city beyond, lights scattered across the darkness, each one a life, a story she used to see. See the world as a series of threats, dangers to assess and neutralize. But now she sees possibility. Visual, her reflection in the glass, tired, older than her 32 years, but alive. She places her hand against the window, feels the cool glass, thinks about the soldiers in the photograph, the ones who didn't make it home, thinks about Daniel, the 10-year-old boy with the crushed chest, alive because she didn't hesitate, thinks about the patient in Parish's OR, alive because she spoke up. She's not the same person who left Afghanistan, but she's not the person who arrived at Mercy General 3 years ago either. She's someone new, someone who's learning to live with both versions of herself, the soldier and the doctor, the ghost and the healer. Visual. She turns away from the window, walks back down the corridor. Tomorrow, she'll start preparing for her new role. Tomorrow, she'll begin teaching others what she learned in the hardest classroom imaginable. But tonight, she's just Maya Reeves, a surgeon who survived a war and chose to keep fighting, not with weapons, but with skill, with knowledge, with compassion. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most important battle of all. Visual. She enters the locker room, opens her locker, looks at the photograph one more time, then closes it gently. Some ghosts you carry, some you set down, and some you learn to live with, because they're part of who you are and who you're becoming. She leaves. The locker room falls silent, but the photograph remains, a reminder, not of what was lost, but of what was saved. Visual. Hospital. 6 months later. Morning light streaming through windows. The building hums with purposeful activity. Maya walks through the main corridor, white coat crisp. Name tag now reads, Dr. Maya Reeves, Chief Resident, Trauma Surgery. She carries herself differently now. Not invisible, not apologetic, present. Visual. Conference room. Monthly trauma review. Maya at the front, presenting a case to residents and attendings. Screen behind her shows imaging and surgical photos. Patient presented with blunt abdominal trauma. CT showed grade 3 splenic laceration. Initial vitals were stable, but during observation, his pressure dropped suddenly. She advances the slide. Classic presentation of delayed hemorrhage. Question: do we operate immediately or attempt non-operative management? A young resident raises his hand. First year, eager. Operate, he's bleeding. Maya nods. That's the instinct. But look at the timing. Pressure dropped 45 minutes post-admission. What does that tell us? Another resident speaks up. The bleeding might be self-limiting. Exactly. In a stable patient with isolated splenic injury, we can observe, but we need to be ready to move fast if he decompensates. She looks around the room. The hardest decision in trauma isn't always what to do. Sometimes it's what not to do, and knowing when to change your mind. Harrison, now attending, sits in the back, listening, learning. Victoria beside him, arms crossed, satisfied smile. This is what she wanted, what the hospital needed. Someone who understands that surgery isn't just technical skill, it's judgment under pressure. Visual, after the conference, residents filing out. Maya gathering her materials. Harrison approaches. That was good, really good. Thanks. You're a natural at this. Maya looks at him, almost surprised. I'm just sharing what I learned. That's what teaching is. He pauses. Listen, I wanted to say something about how things were before. Harrison, we've talked about this. I know, but I need to say it anyway. He meets her eyes. I was intimidated by you, even before I knew about Afghanistan. You had this way of seeing things that I didn't, and instead of learning from it, I dismissed it. His voice is genuine, regretful. I'm sorry for making you feel like you had to hide who you were. Maya's expression softens. You weren't the only one. I know, but I should have been better. She nods. We all should have been. A pause. You're different now, Harrison says. So are you. Yeah, I guess I am. They stand there for a moment, understanding passing between them. Then Harrison grins slightly. So, Chief Resident, how does it feel? Maya considers. Terrifying, exhausting. She smiles. And right. Visual. Trauma bay. Afternoon. Maya supervising 2 residents working on a patient. Motorcycle accident. Broken ribs. Possible pneumothorax. What do you hear? The first resident listens with a stethoscope. Diminished breath sounds. Left side. What does that mean? Possible pneumothorax. Possible isn't good enough. Is it tension or simple? The resident hesitates. Maya steps in, places her own stethoscope, listens. Then checks the patient's neck veins. No JVD, trachea midline, vitals stable, simple pneumothorax. She steps back. How do we confirm? Chest x-ray. Good. Order it. And while we wait, tell me what you'd do if this was tension. The resident thinks. Needle decompression. Second intercostal space, mid-clavicular line. Correct. And if you don't have time for imaging? Clinical diagnosis. Treat based on presentation. Maya nods. Exactly. Sometimes you don't have the luxury of confirmation. You see the signs, you act. Hesitation kills. The second resident speaks up. How do you stay calm? When everything's moving fast. Maya looks at her. Sees herself 3 years ago. Uncertain. Questioning. You don't stay calm. You just don't let the fear control you. She pauses. Fear is information. It tells you the stakes are high. But training tells you what to do. Trust your training. The resident nods, absorbing it. Visual. Later, Maya in her office. Small space. Desk covered with papers and medical journals. She's reviewing resident evaluations. A knock at the door. Come in. Linda enters, holding a bakery box. Thought you could use this. She sets it down. Opens it. Donuts. Maya laughs. You're trying to kill me. I'm trying to keep you human. Linda sits. How's it going? The new position. It's a lot, but good. You look tired. I am tired. Linda studies her. You're allowed to take breaks, you know. I know. Do you? Maya sets down her pen. Old habits. Afghanistan habits? Maya nods. Linda's voice is gentle but firm. You're not there anymore. You don't have to run on empty. I'm not. Maya. When's the last time you took a full day off? Maya thinks. Can't remember. See, Linda says. You're going to burn out, and then you're no good to anyone. She's right. Maya knows she's right. Okay, I'll take next Sunday. Good, and you'll actually rest, not catch up on paperwork. I'll try. Linda smiles. That's all I ask. She stands, pauses at the door. You're doing great, Maya. Everyone sees it. Thanks. Linda leaves. Maya sits alone. The donut box in front of her. She takes one, bites into it, tastes it. Really tastes it. For the first time in months, she's not just refueling. She's actually enjoying something. Small victory. But it matters. Visual. Hospital. Evening. Maya walking through the halls. Stops at the ICU. Looks through the window. Daniel. The 10-year-old from the mass casualty incident. He's sitting up. talking with his parents, laughing, alive. A nurse notices Maya, waves her in. Maya enters. Daniel looks up. "Hi, Dr. Reeves." "Hi, Daniel. How are you feeling?" "Better. They said I can go home next week." "That's great." His mother stands, approaches Maya, eyes wet. "Thank you for saving him." Maya's throat tightens. "I was just doing my job." You did more than that." The mother hugs her, brief but genuine. Maya doesn't know what to say, so she just nods. Visual, outside the ICU. Maya leaning against the wall, breathing. This is why she does it. Not for the recognition, not for the title. For moments like this. When someone who shouldn't be alive is laughing with their family. Victoria appears beside her. "You okay?" "Yeah, just needed a second." Victoria looks through the window at Daniel. "That never gets old, does it?" "No, it doesn't." They stand in silence. Then Victoria speaks. "I'm proud of you, Maya, for what you've become here." Maya looks at her. "I'm still figuring it out. We all are. That's the job." Victoria pauses, "But you're doing it right. Teaching them not just how to operate, but how to think, how to stay human in the middle of chaos. I learned from good people." "So did I, and now you're one of them." The words settle, warm, real. Maya smiles. "Thank you. Just keep doing what you're doing." Victoria walks away. Maya remains, looking through the window at a child who's alive because she didn't hesitate, because she trusted her training, her instincts, because she stopped hiding and started living. Visual. Hospital lobby, night. Maya leaving, passing the memorial wall. Photos of doctors and nurses who served the hospital over decades. She stops, looks at them, wonders if she'll be up there someday, wonders what her legacy will be. Not the Bronze Star she never wanted, not the lives saved in Afghanistan, but this. Teaching the next generation, being present, being real. She turns, walks toward the exit. The automatic doors slide open, cool night air. She breathes it in. And for the first time in years, she feels like she's exactly where she's supposed to be. Visual, hospital. 2 years later, morning. Golden sunlight through tall windows. The building alive with movement and purpose. Maya Reeves walks through the main entrance. White coat, confident stride, hair pulled back. She's 34 now. The shadows under her eyes have softened. Not gone, but lighter. She looks like someone who's learned to sleep again. People greet her as she passes. Residents, nurses, attendings. Not with deference, with respect. She's earned her place here. Visual. Surgical Education Center. New wing. Modern. Bright. Maya standing before a simulation lab. 20 residents seated, watching. Listening. Trauma surgery isn't about being fearless. It's about making decisions when you're afraid and everything's falling apart. She advances a slide, shows a surgical scenario. Patient arrives, penetrating abdominal trauma. Pressure's dropping. You're the only surgeon available. What do? Hands raise. She points to a second-year resident. Explore the abdomen. Find the bleeder. Good. But first. Another resident. Stabilize. Fluids. Blood products. Exactly. You can't operate on a corpse. Resuscitate first, then explore. She looks around the room. But here's the real question. What if you can't stabilize? What if pressure keeps dropping no matter what you do? Silence. You operate anyway, because doing something is better than doing nothing. You make your best decision with incomplete information, and you commit. A young resident in the front row speaks up, nervous. What if you're wrong? Maya meets her eyes. Then you're wrong. And you adjust. The worst thing you can do is freeze. She pauses. Her voice softens slightly. I've made mistakes. Everyone in this room will make mistakes. The difference between a good surgeon and a great one isn't perfection. It's what you do after you fail. The room is silent, absorbing. You learn. You adapt. You do better next time. And you never stop questioning yourself. She closes the presentation. That's all for today. Go save some lives. Eves. The residents file out, energized, thoughtful. Harrison enters as they leave. Still scaring them with the hard truths? Maya smiles. Someone has to. They respect you, I can see it. They respect the work, that's different. Is it? Maya considers. Maybe not. Visual, hospital cafeteria, lunch. Maya sitting with Linda and Derek. Easy conversation, comfortable. Daniel's back, Linda says. Maya looks up. Daniel? From the accident, 2 years ago. He's here for a follow-up. Asked if you were working. Maya sets down her fork. He did? He wants to thank you. Again. He already did. Some gratitude doesn't expire. Maya's quiet, then nods. Okay, tell him I'll stop by. Visual, pediatric clinic, afternoon. Maya entering. Daniel's there, 12 now, taller, healthier, his mother beside him. He sees Maya, smiles wide. Dr. Reeves? Hi, Daniel. Look at you. I'm on the soccer team now, made varsity. That's amazing. His mother stands. We wanted you to know how much you changed our lives. He wouldn't be here without you. Maya's throat tightens. I'm just glad I could help. Daniel reaches into his backpack, pulls out a drawing, hands it to her. It's a picture, crude but heartfelt, a doctor in scrubs, standing over a patient. The word hero written at the top. I made this for you. Maya takes it, stares at it. Her voice is thick. Thank you, Daniel. I'll keep this. You saved my life. I'm going to be a doctor too, like you. Maya kneels down, meets his eyes. Then remember this. Being a doctor isn't about being a hero. It's about showing up, even when it's hard, even when you're scared. You just show up and do the work. Daniel nods seriously. I will. Maya stands, shakes his mother's hand, then leaves. Visual, hallway. Maya walking, holding the drawing. Her hands trembling slightly, not from fear, from something else. Pride, relief, connection. She stops, leans against the wall, lets herself feel it. This is why she stayed. Visual, Maya's office, evening. The drawing pinned to her bulletin board. Beside it, the photograph from her locker, the 4 soldiers. And next to that, a new photo. The Mercy General Surgical Team, smiling, exhausted, together. Victoria knocks, enters. Got a minute? Always. Victoria sits, looks around the office, notices the photos. You've built something here. We all have. No, you have. Is program, the way you teach. The residents look up to you. Maya's uncomfortable with the praise. They'd learn from anyone. But they're learning from you, and that matters. Victoria pauses. I'm stepping down. End of next year. Maya looks up sharply. What? I'm tired. Maya, 30 years in surgery. It's time. Who's taking over? Victoria smiles. The board wants you. Maya stares. Me? Chief of Trauma Surgery. You've earned it. Victoria, I'm 34. And you have more experience than most surgeons, twice your age. You've trained in conditions most of us can't imagine. You've proven yourself here, over and over. Maya's silent, processing. I don't know if I'm ready. You're ready. You've been ready. Victoria stands. Think about it, but don't think too long. The board meets in 3 weeks. She leaves. Maya sits alone, the weight of the offer settling. Chief of surgery, the thing she never wanted, the thing she might actually need. Visual, hospital, night. Maya on the roof, alone. City lights below. Stars above. She pulls out her phone, scrolls through contacts, stops at one. Sergeant Ethan Cross. She hesitates, then calls. He answers on the second ring. Maya? Hey, Ethan. Everything okay? Yeah, I just needed to talk. I'm listening. She takes a breath. They offered me chief of surgery. Silence. Then a low whistle. That's huge. I know. You sound uncertain. Ain. I am. Why? Maya looks out at the city. Because if I take it, there's no going back. No more hiding. No more pretending I'm just another doctor. Maya, you were never just another doctor. I wanted to be. I know, but you're not, and that's not a bad thing. She's quiet. Ethan continues. You spent 15 months saving lives in hell. You came home and did it again without recognition, without thanks. You've earned this, not because of Afghanistan, because of who you are. His voice is firm. Take the job, not because you have to prove anything, but because you're the right person for it. Maya closes her eyes. Thanks, Ethan. Any time, Captain. She smiles. I told you not to call me that. Old habits. They say goodbye. Maya lowers the phone, looks out at the city. She thinks about the soldiers in the photograph, the ones who didn't come home. She thinks about Daniel, about Parrish's patient, about every life saved in this building. She thinks about the residents she's trained, the ones who will go on to save thousands more. And she realizes something. This is her mission now. Not carrying a rifle, not stitching wounds under fire, but this, Teaching, leading, building something that lasts. Visual, hospital, 3 weeks later, morning. Conference room, board meeting concluded. Maya exits, Victoria waiting outside. Well? Maya meets her eyes. I said yes. Victoria smiles, proud. Good. This place needs you. I hope I'm ready. You are, and when you're not, you'll figure it out. They walk together, down the familiar halls. Thank you, Maya says, for believing in me. I didn't believe in you at first. You made me believe. Visual, surgical wing. Maya entering, residents gathered. Someone's hung a banner. Congratulations, Dr. Reeves. Applause. Genuine. Warm. Harrison steps forward. Speech? Maya looks around. At the faces. The people she's worked beside. Taught. Learned from. I don't have a speech. But I'll say this. She pauses. This job isn't about me. It's about all of us. We save lives because we show up. Because we do the work. Because we don't give up. Her voice steadies. I've seen the worst of what people can do to each other. But I've also seen the best. And every day in this hospital, I see people choosing to fight for life, to give everything they have for strangers. She looks at each of them. That's what we do here. And I'm honored to do it with you. Silence. Then more applause. Not loud, but real. Visual. Later. Maya alone in the locker room, opening her locker, looking at the photographs, the soldiers, the team, the drawing from Daniel, different chapters of the same life. She doesn't take them down. Instead, she adds something new. The letter from the board, appointing her chief of trauma surgery. All of it together. Past, present, future. She closes the locker, turns, and walks back into the hospital. Because this is who she is now. Not invisible, not a ghost, not just a soldier or just a doctor, but someone who carries all of it and uses it to build something better. Visual, operating room, Maya scrubbing in, a new resident beside her, nervous. You ready? Maya asks. The resident nods. Good. Let's go save a life. They enter the OR together, the doors close, and the work continues. Final visual, hospital exterior, dawn breaking. The building standing strong against the morning sky. Inside, lives are being saved by people who chose to show up, who chose to fight, who chose not to give up. And leading them, a woman who learned that strength isn't about never being broken. It's about what you build after. Fade to black. To those who serve in silence, your strength is not defined by the battles others see, but by the ones you fight within yourself, and by what you choose to become after the war ends.